Engage. So, yes, Mark from Enchantment of Eternity here to announce I will be doing a couple of live videos. So I've announced earlier, and I am sticking to this, that for September I'm sort of going on hiatus, except for my Better Call Saul reviews, which will come out weekly as per normal. But all the other videos that I'm making, I am saving to be released in October, so that way I will forever have a surplus of videos ready to put out. But that being said, I thought, well, since I'm not releasing any new videos other than Better Call Saul, why don't I do some live streams in September? So I've decided to do a live stream pretty much every weekend. And the first one, which I want to announce, which you'll find the link to in the description below, is I'll be doing a live discussion with Ellen, who I've done some discussions before with, and we're going to talk about Neelix. She actually messaged me a while ago, I think 4 or 5 months ago, and said, "Oh, we should do another live stream. This time, let's talk about Neelix." And I was like, "All right," but at the moment, I'm too busy, and I was too busy. Well, now it's perfect time. So I was like, "Hey, why don't we do that discussion about Neelix?" And plus, I just saw the actor on Better Call Saul reminded me. I was like, "Hey," so we're gonna start off talking about Neelix, because he's a lot of people hate him, a lot of vitriol, violently hate him. I think both me and Ellen are kind of not as sour on Neelix, but we'll get into that. Then, all the pitfalls. Was he used well? Does he work? Or what we think about him? But that's probably going to be the start of the conversation. We'll probably just end up going on tangents about Voyager as a whole, or maybe Star Trek as a whole, and just I'm not going to structure the discussion too strictly. We'll start off talking about Neelix, wherever the discussion goes, whatever, it's fine. And maybe it won't go for very long. Maybe we'll go for less than an hour. Maybe we'll go for over an hour. Sort of just playing it by ear. It'll just be cool to have another live discussion with her, because it's been a while. I think the last one we did was when we watched the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. I think all the ones we've done previously were all about Game of Thrones. So it'd be interesting to talk about Star Trek for once. And just, yeah. It's very, also, I thought it was very random, just all of a sudden, hey, let's talk about Neelix, because there's no, upcoming, episode or show or movie or anything. It's just, a very random, hey, let's talk about it, because he's such a divisive character. I think it'd be interesting to talk about. Anyway, DJ, hey, how's it going in the chat? I'm doing well. Anyway, that is the first one that I'll be doing this month. That will be this Monday for me. Sorry, New Zealand Mondays. You get the time differences mixed up. For most people, it will be a Sunday. Particularly if you're in the U.S., it will be Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Central for Ellen, I believe. And, you figure the rest out. For me, it would be Monday morning at 11 a.m., I believe, is when I set it for. But so that'll be the first one. You can come join us in the chat and maybe derail us. Maybe just talk about anything Star Trek, Voyager related, and just put in your input on how much. Don says we love Neelix. Do you, Don? Are you being sarcastic? I wonder. Sometimes it's hard to tell on text. Maybe you're serious. I don't know. And Steven, hey, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Cool. So that's the first one. Now, the next stream I'll be doing, so I decided I'll do one every weekend. So it's a weekend in a row. I mean, I'm counting that is a weekend, even though it's a Monday for me. It's a Sunday for the States or whatever. Anyway, so the next week, I'm very excited. This will be Friday the 14th. I will be doing a live discussion with Wes from the Pensky Files about the first 3 seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Really excited about this because if you haven't checked out the Pensky Files, I'd highly recommend his YouTube channel. He does podcasts. It's probably on other formats as well, like iTunes or whatever, but it's also a YouTube channel. When he does a podcast and he goes through every single episode, he went through every single episode of The Next Generation, and now he's doing Deep Space Nine, doing a podcast on every single episode of Deep Space Nine, like twice a week, I believe. And I've been been really digging into that because I'm preparing to do my own Deep Space Nine reviews. Actually, I already recorded the video, but you guys don't get to see it until until October, or unless you're a patron, then you'll get to see it a bit earlier. I just finished up, not uploading, but just finished producing that video just now, where I cover sort of did before with Voyager and Babylon 5, where I cover the entire season, one like hour-long video where I go episode by episode and give like little snippets of what I think of which episode. I spend more time in the episodes I have more to say about it. Some I don't have much to say about it, just very quickly. Yeah, this episode's forgettable. Next. And then maybe an episode I do have a lot to say about, spend more time on. So I'll do that monthly review for Deep Space Nine, going season by season. So in October it'll be season 1, November season 2, blah blah blah, just like I did with Voyager and Babylon 5. So I thought it would be interesting since, and Wes at the moment with his Pensky files, again, you should definitely check that out if you haven't heard of it. He's just finished up season 3 and he's on to season 4. So I thought it would be cool for us to talk about the first 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine. So we're going to go like season by season and discussion, just our overall thoughts, positives, negatives, whatnot. Do season 1, season 2, and then season 3. Because, well, he said that he's just watched the first 3 seasons, so they're still fresh in his mind. And he said he's not as familiar with the later seasons because he hasn't rewatched them. Me personally, I've seen the entire show like dozens of times, so I can talk about any season. But for me, season 1 is still fresh in my mind. I'll sort of have to, I'm not as fresh with season 2 and 3, but as I said, I've seen the show dozens of times, so I could talk about any season at random. And, but it would be interesting because, yeah, he just wrapped up his coverage of the first 3 seasons, and I'm going to just be starting my coverage of the first 3 seasons. So it'd be good to get a little overview of compare notes. I'm very excited about this because I've been watching a lot of his videos, and I think they're really good, really digging into it. No, Stephen, I don't mean Tuvix, or Don doesn't mean Tuvix. Nobody loves Tuvix. Fuck Tuvix. Anyway, yeah, so that will be on the Friday the 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for me, that'll be Saturday morning. No, Saturday afternoon. Sorry, Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. me here in New Zealand, but wherever you are, you can figure it out. Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Anyway, so the following week, God damn it, which I believe is the 21st, if I can add correctly. No, that would be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 21st. Hold on, I had it written down here somewhere. But anyway, for that week, I won't have any guests. I'll just do a solo live stream. And when I say solo, I don't mean about Han Solo or that Star Wars movie that came out. I mean just me, because it's been a while since I did stuff like this where I come and announce stuff and stay for like 20 minutes and blah blah. But I want like a proper like 1 hour, 2 hour stream. I've recently watched a lot of shows which I can't be bothered doing like their own reviews for, so I'm just gonna like rapidly go through some of these shows, spoiler free. So it's open for anyone. You don't have to have seen the show. And just go through really quickly what I thought of them. In particular, is this show called Shop Objects, which I didn't want to do a video for because, to be honest, like everyone loves this. Like I've seen some videos like, this is the best show ever. It's the greatest show. This is amazing. It's blah. And it seems to be the general consensus, and I don't like it. And I didn't want to make my own video for it because I know that video would just attract people who would just go there just because they want to, hear their opinions confirmed about how awesome the show is, and so they get really pissed off and leave nasty comments because I don't like it, call me an idiot, whatnot. So I didn't want to do a standalone video for it, but I'll include it with a lot of other shows. Some of them are kind of from last year, like Mindhunter, and there's a few other like Final Space, maybe BoJack. I think BoJack season 5 will be out though, so maybe I'll talk about BoJack a bit, and just random stuff like that. I also wanted to tackle the subject of fanboyism, which I think is real because a lot of people recently have been talking about toxic fandom, which mostly has to do with people who hate stuff. Where I agree that's kind of an issue, although I don't think it's nothing new. I think maybe it's amplified a bit by the internet, but I don't think it's anything new. So I might get into that a little bit, but I mainly want to talk about the other side of the spectrum, which I don't think enough people are talking about, is what I mean by fanboyism is that there's people who love something so much, anyone who's even the tiniest bit negative on it gets attacked and be called a hater. It's like they have this standard where you have to be positive of all time about everything, otherwise you're a hater. And I'm not just talking about feedback I've gotten, because I've gotten feedback like this on Voyager, because in particular, because I can be negative, even though I love Voyager. It's what I put in my top 10 favorite shows of all time. And I watch it again, and I love Voyager, and yet so many people tell me that I hate Voyager because I'm just negative about certain aspects of it. And it's not just me, though. I've noticed other channels also experiencing this. Other people are talking about how they're told that they hate Voyager just because they're a little bit negative. And it's not just with Voyager. It's with anything. I mean, you think about, like, the Christopher Nolan people when Dark Knight Rises first came out, critics who gave it negative reviews received death threats, which that's the extreme example of it. So I want to have a frank discussion about that, about fanboyism, and get your feedback on what you think. So that's going to be on the 21st, pretty sure. Hey, Colonel Doomsday, you're here. What's going on? And yes, everyone's saying hello to those. Don says, I call those kinds of fans how you pronounce that? Showthrots? Is that how you say it, Don? Showthrots. I don't know. But that is interesting. Don says, I've been told that I hate Game of Thrones because of things I pointed out. Yeah. See, that's another good example. And Helicon says it's the age of ignorant I can't pronounce that. Extremist reactions. Yeah. And I think that is kind of amplified by the internet. But again, this is something. Oh, throats. No R. Sorry. Is it saying throat? I can't pronounce shit. Sorry. No R. I thought I didn't. Throat. Thoughts. Like, is that like the Boston accent way of saying thoughts? Thats. Like bots? I don't know. Anyway, I really suck at pronouncing shit. I think I just proved that. Anyway, so that will be on the 21st. Let's say 1 p.m. as well. Yeah, sure. Because it's just me. I'll say Saturday, 1 p.m. my time. So Friday, which is actually 22nd. Now I'm getting you really confused. But if you're in the US, it'll be Friday at 9 p.m. just like the one with Wes. Anyway, confusing the hell out of you guys. Like bots. Yeah, like bots. Thoughts. Yeah, it does sound like the Boston way of pronouncing thoughts. Fats. Anyway. So at the end of September, so that's 1 week. The next week, the 30th of September, which is a Sunday. Again, for me, it would be the 1st of October, which is a Monday. It would be round 2 of Enchantment of Eternity's Trivia Challenge. This is something I've been really waiting for. Apparently, a lot of people had fun with the last Trivia Challenge that I did, including me. And I got a request to do another one. So I am very excited to do another one. Now, I have decided to do something cool. I think it's cool. You might think it's silly. But I'm going to do like a tournament style thing. Whereas, so for the Trivia Challenge round 2, Darren and Apkin will be rejoining to give their second chance. But instead of Don, we're actually going to have Josh from Geeksiders, who we recently did the Marvel discussion with, which was a lot of fun. So I invited him to come back to do the Trivia Challenge. So it'll be I'm fucking it up already. It will be Darren versus Atkin versus Josh. And the winner of that will take on the champion, the guy who won the last trivia challenge, Don, on a mano-a-mano one-on-one fight, which would probably be like a month or two after that, maybe December, November or something. So Don in the chat there, he's going to sit this one out for the 30th, but he will take on a one-on-one the winner of this next one. So I'm really curious to see. See who would win out of Darren, Josh, and Afkin. I'm going to change up the topics a bit too. I'm not going to use the exact same, especially like Better Call Saul, because none of them have seen it, so it would be silly for me to include that. So, but it's going to be very similar. It's the same rules and same structure as the last time I did it. Although when I do the one-on-one thing, I'm going to change round 3 a bit. But for this one, it will still be 3 contestants, so it'll be the same structure. I'll just change some of the topics a little bit, not too much. Right. Let's see. Nice jumper, Mark. Thanks. And Quack Addict, Friday, 8 p.m. What are you talking about? What's Friday, 8 p.m.? Now, it's Friday at... Oh, fuck. I'm getting so confused there. No, Friday at 9 p.m. Okay, so the first discussion coming up, it's a fucking Sunday in the U.S., and that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's about Neelix. Following week will be Friday at 9 p.m., the 14th, Eastern Standard U.S. Time, live discussion with me and Wes, talking about the first 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine. A week after will be Friday, 9 p.m. U.S. time, which is me myself talking about fanboyism and some shows I've seen. And then the following week, which will be the 30th September, we're back on Sunday at... Oh, fuck. What time did we even decide for this? I've totally lost my track now. But anyway, Sunday night, Sunday the 30th U.S. time, will be the Trivia Challenge Round 2. God, I can't even remember what time we decided for that. I'll have to check my fucking emails. God, I'm just getting so confused with all this shit. But it's all in the comments. I'll put it I'll update it when this is an announcement for the Neelix video because that's coming up in a few days. I'll actually do another quick announcement for the the Deep Space Nine thing and the solo thing and the trivia thing when I get closer to the time as well. So I'll update you guys then. I'm sure I'll have the right time and by then. But yeah. Colonel Doomsday, you think you're confused? Yeah, I know. I wrote it down in the description below. So if what I'm saying is confusing, just read the description. I wrote down the schedule of things that come there. Anyway, and also has a link to the Neelix discussion, which you can come join us this Monday, my Monday. Anyway, your Sunday. Whatever. Anyway, I think that's it. That's all I had to say. I'm really excited about these live streams coming up. Go check out the Pensky files and then watch our collaboration. I am so excited for that. So glad that he agreed to do that. And then, of course, Trivia Challenge Round 2. Excited for that. Yeah. Anyway, that's all good. So I'll see you guys later.